welcome to another Facebook Live show. I'm Jen Burson, the founder of Generation PR and the creator of Generation Academy and the Profitable PR Pros community, the award-winning Profitable PR Pros community. We won last year Inc. Best in Business in PR, Marketing, and Advertising, which was honestly such a huge honor because this community didn't exist in any way before we launched it, and to be recognized in a short period of time by Inc. was, and honestly, the recognition was based on the achievements of the members of our programs. All we did to win that award was literally submit 60 pages in a PDF of all of the feedback that we got. I'm not even kidding you. All of the feedback that we got from our members of our programs, their wins, their growth, their transformations in their businesses and their lives. Literally anytime anyone ever gives us any feedback about the programs we put out into the world, I save it. I hope you do that too. I hope you have a brag file or a win file or something that captures all of the accolades, any win, anything to celebrate, and go through it from time to time. It's a big deal to be able to see in one place all of the positive sentiment on your work. Hi, Nelson. I'm sure he has a massive file of wins that he can look through at any time. Probably doesn't need to, but it, makes you feel really good. And for us to win Inc. Best in Business by literally submitting all of that feedback and all of the testimonials and case studies from members of our community. So that was a win, not for my PR agency, but the Best in Business Inc. Award in Advertising, Marketing, and PR came from the content we put out into the world, of programs we've launched, and members of our programs like Serena, Nelson, and others. So welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. A little quick COVID update. I'm feeling way better, so much better, only dealing with a little bit of a nighttime cough, and I have medication and an inhaler for that. I've never had an inhaler before, so this is hopefully just a temporary thing. My husband is still dealing with serious fatigue to the point where he has no energy, and so we've been talking a lot about that because he's supposed to go hike in Mount Rainier next week. 4 days of hiking, some days 9-mile hikes, which normally is not a problem for us, but 4 days in a row with really no rest in between. He's really worried about pushing himself too hard, and everybody that's kind of a long hauler has said, don't push yourself. So we're trying to figure it out. But that's the latest. I feel really good. I'm sleeping better. I'm not coughing in the middle of the night when I use the inhaler and whatnot. So we're feeling a lot better around here. We have a new client to celebrate. Just getting the signed retainer agreement, but they agreed to the terms. We're just adding it to DocuSign so they can take care of it while they're on the road. But we're a beauty PR agency. We are working with the creator of the Judy fragrance, so Judy Garland. He worked with her estate, her children, Liza Minnelli, the fabulous Grand Dame. I don't know, I sound like a poser saying that, but and Lorna Luft and Joey, and they helped to create this fragrance, Judy. It's a unisex fragrance, mostly women, and even as the founder of the brand says, and gay men would love to wear this, but it smells beautiful. It is designed to be unisex, and it's inspired by the fragrances that she wore and the rose that is the Judy Garland rose that's named after her. It's beautiful, and now I'm happy to report that now that my smell is back, I can actually smell it. It was so hard to pitch this brand and be like, I don't know if I like it. I like the idea of it, but it's beautiful. It's a white floral, and they're launching this like exquisite bottle that's blown glass in Murano. It's very, very special. So if you are a fan of Wizard of Oz or Judy Garland, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Wizard of Oz and then of course Judy Garland in future projects. It's a really special thing to own. It's premium fragrance. And it's fun for me because it's kind of full circle, because we got our start in PR when I was still an attorney. I was promoting a fragrance brand on the side, unpaid. And that is how I was able to take the leap. I loved the work so much. I had been promoting a brand for free in my spare time. They're also now basing their pitches on results only, and they only use Haro. That's so lame. That's no one in this community. And I'm so sorry. That is not an agency. Jane is saying that her new client is getting inundated in email and on LinkedIn with all of these like bottom feeder solicitations from these agencies that are saying we'll only charge you if we get results. And we've done lives on this topic before. We have done other thing. Oh, many are overseas. It's shady. And they're like backlinks builders, a lot of them too, looking for PR to help with SEO. And they have these like link building farms essentially. There is a conversation inside the Profitable PR Pros community right now. One of our, in our free group, and she's actually a member of our programs, but posted a question about this, really wanting to understand as a journalist and a PR professional what is really happening, who's getting cut out of the mix. Are these PR agencies that Jane is referring to, are they brokers? Are they actually crafting stories? Are they just posting content? It's not the same as what we're doing. It's not the same as earned media. Does not have the same value. A lot of the content that's posted like that are eliminated, deleted. There are no follow links, or they have no SEO benefit because they're not actual editorial. It really pisses off the journalists. And if your clients are involved, I mean, Jane, I know, I mean, she's mentioning it to me, not because she's asking me, is this okay? She's like, we talk about this all the time. It's so shady, bottom feeder, and we don't want to take on clients who have used these tactics because it makes our efforts harder. Writers are going to research the subject of their story and see that your clients have done shady pay to play, and they're not going to want to participate. They're not going to want to be aligned with a company, a founder that does anything like that. And so Jane, I feel your frustration. It's so annoying. And it's really frustrating to me when I get reached out to in my DMs on Instagram by these types of agencies asking me if I want to use their services to establish, have some fun. Send them to me, Jane. Send me your responses. We have fun. We have fun. Just inner circle stuff. But they will say, hey, I see that you're a PR expert. Do you want to get earned, do you want to get media features to establish your expertise? We only get paid if we secure features for you. And I'm like, literally, I have to restrain myself from cussing them out because it's so lazy. It's like, look at what we're doing. We run an agent, I get what your messaging is to clients, that they don't need PR professionals, but what we're doing and what you're doing are not the same. It's not the same. So Jane, have your fun. Jane's on both sides of the pitch. So she is media, she has a business trade publication for the beauty industry, and she is a very seasoned, works with billion-dollar clients on the beauty side. And we're lucky to have members like Jane in our program. She shares her insights on both sides, what's moving the needle for client wins and what's moving the needle on what media are considering right now. And it's like, this is our community. We just have like top of the line seasoned pros. So anyway, lots of sidebarring, but I'm here for you guys. I'd love to have this be a conversation. I'd love to have this be a conversation where we're going to talk about building confidence as a PR professional. I have a high performance intimate group coaching program, and I also have coaching experience for the Agency Accelerator. And on this week's coaching calls, I talked a lot about my process for discussing with this brand my concerns as a PR pro. I wasn't on the call to win the work, to say anything necessary to win the work. I was on the call to serve them with my expertise, with my understanding of the industry, the changes happening in the industry. I was confident in my expertise and what I was saying. And maybe that's a turnoff for some brands that feel like they just want to go with someone that's going to say, I'm going to get you everywhere, top tier, you'll be everywhere, everyone's going to love it, it smells great, and that's all that matters, okay? That'll win you work, but that's not the reality. And when you approach sales and client service that way, you're going to set yourself up for failure. Well, we would love to have you. Oh my God, you would love Serena. You would love it. That she's talking about our Elevate high performance group coaching experience, and we're 2 weeks in, and it's like I'm learning, I'm loving it. This community, this group is like so good. But that's not how things work. And when you set things up like that with a client, like I'm going to get you this, that, and the other, this is how it's going to work. Everybody's going to love the fragrance, price point doesn't matter. And none of the like retail channels matter. They will be, their expectations are going to be so high that you're never going to meet them and they're going to be disappointed. Part of the Agency Accelerator framework that Jane and Serena are in is that we focus on service. We want to help you earn consistent, predictable, recurring retainer revenue. So you have a solid foundation of clients, and if some come and go, it's not a big deal. And you have a sales strategy. So if you need to fill a spot or you want to generate more demand for your services, you know how to do that. And then it's all about keeping clients happy and in the door. And you can't do that when you overpromise and underdeliver. So part of this piece of confidence is owning your expertise. It's knowing when a client calls you, they're seeking your guidance even before you sign the retainer agreement. And you can push back on things they're telling you because they may not have the full picture. Their perception of the way things work might not be accurate or current. And it's helpful, and it helps to establish your expertise by sharing with them what really is happening now in our industry. So I think having confidence is really important to the sales process, to pitching the media, to having a business as an entrepreneur. Do you step into your role as the leader of your business? Are you feeling like you were just thrown into it and you're not quite a CEO of your business, and so you don't feel comfortable making those decisions like a CEO of a 6 or 7 figure business would make? If you say, well, I'm just a PR freelancer, that's not a CEO mindset. That's not coming from a place of confidence. We know that confidence in pitching our services and confidence in, there's a lot going on in my house right now, and confidence in our ability to deliver and in our role as the leader of our company is really important, but it's also not easy to achieve. And I wouldn't say achieve like it's a goal, like a finish line, but it's always something you can work on and grow. If you want to feel your best, sell your services, land your ideal clients, build meaningful relationships with the media that are going to convert to press features, then it is important that you are confident in the value that you're providing to them. And all, whether it's media or your clients, to be really confident in that value that you're providing. It's like this soft skill, right? That people talk about, like, writing, hard, there's like hard skills. Can you manage a CRM platform or whatever? But like the soft skills, confidence is a skill. It's something you can learn. It's something you can hone. You can grow it. So we're going to talk about the 4 key skills that you need right now to be successful in PR, in running your own PR agency. And then I'm going to give you my best tips for building confidence in those skills. And I'd love to hear from you in the chat if you have any thoughts that come to mind about maybe how you overcame some challenges in the confidence department, or how you are able to project your most confident self and that awareness of your expertise and the value you provide. Share that with me. Share that with the community. I'll mention it on the podcast too. I'd love to hear from you guys, because I want you to have these mindset reframes so that you can build your confidence to work towards consistent growth. Okay, so 4 skills you need to be successful in PR and confident in the value that you're providing. So obviously, number 1, communication. It's absolutely essential as a PR professional, but you need to communicate in a few different ways, including with prospective clients. So in a sales capacity, in a service capacity, even with prospective clients, you have to be able to communicate the value of your services, answer any questions that they have, be able to confidently educate your clients on what PR actually is and what it isn't, how it's beneficial to them, and what it isn't responsible for doing for them, which immediately sales comes to mind, right? That is not a KPI that should measure the results of what we're doing. PR is not sales. It can absolutely drive sales and drive demand. You're creating awareness, consumer affinity for your clients' products or services. For sure, it should help drive sales. Ultimately, that would be wonderful if that happens, because then, of course, there's more revenue and more money for your services. But that's not the goal of PR. It's awareness. It's visibility, positive consumer sentiment. So we also, want to be able to communicate results with clients in a way that really highlights the value of that result, that piece of press, that win that you secured, to be able to communicate that. And I think that's a piece that's sometimes missing. Just reporting hits, giving clients a boring spreadsheet with numbers and links. Everything on that spreadsheet looks exactly the same, and none of it looks impressive. What's impressive are visuals, and then breaking it down for them about the audience that reads that publication, the size of the audience, the demographics, the feedback from the editor, pulling quotes from the article, if it really positions your client favorably in the market and distinguishes them from their competition. That's taking one result and putting it out in a way that's really tangible. And sure, spreadsheets are nice and we do them, but pull out the wins. Your monthly recaps should be like, bam, look at this. We got you. Bullet, bullet, bullet. Look at all the visuals. Inside Agency Accelerator, we teach you, maybe I do need my inhaler. We teach you how to create clips, and they're awesome because they're very visual. And hold on, me ice water. Let's see. Send a text to my husband, who happens to be home right now. See if he'll bring me water. Be an interesting experiment. So communicating results in a way that really highlights the value. I'd love to hear from any of you guys on here Serena Nelson, Jane, and any others, how are you reporting in a way where your clients are dazzled? What are you sharing with them that makes them feel like they're really getting that value they're paying for? That's another way communication is important. Yes, Jane, there is. I can send it to you. I do them in Canva. Takes me like 4 seconds. Honestly, I can even jump on the phone and share my screen and show you how to do it, or do a couple for you. But I do have, it's not a master class, but there's a lesson inside of the Agency Accelerator. Oh, look at that. Thank you. Appreciate it. How are you feeling?
Good.
When do you normally crash? Maybe don't eat lunch. Kidding. Oh, see? Okay. So Jane and Serena are both inside the Agency Accelerator. Jane, it's not like a master class, but it's part of the core program. I'll send it to you. Or go in there and just type in Canva, in Agency Accelerator. And it's a little lesson. I just share my screen. So Serena is saying that she created a visual clip like you showed us in Canva, and the client loved it. Yeah. It's just a visual way to be like, look at this. And it's, not saying to the client, we own the rights to give this to you, and now you own the right. And Jane is very cautious with this too, but because everything is copyright protected, especially their logos as well. This has come up quite a bit with clients that are like, we want to put all 25 of these logos on the site. Can you help us secure copyright for this? Or can you ask the magazine for their masthead file? I'm like, oh my God. No, that's not going to happen. It's too expensive. But they will sometimes go after you, just so you know, be careful. But it's a way to show internally, show the client, this is what we did. And they can do with it what they choose. You're not giving them the right to use it. Sidebar, side note. Anyway, so you are showing them what you did in a really visual way, and you're updating them on your progress so that they see, even if the results aren't coming, they're clear that work is being done. You're keeping it positive. You're keeping it active so that they know from you, results haven't come yet, but the wheels are in motion. This agency's out there pounding the pavement for me. So you also will need to help your clients communicate effectively. So if you land a client in an interview, maybe they haven't done a lot. Maybe they're not super telegenic. They can't carry a segment. Either you give them some insight, key talking points, key messaging, and give them some pointers, or there could be a PR professional that's focused on media training that could come in and help them do that. But as a comms pro, if it's not like a really crazy hard-hitting interview and it's just like light and whatever, you can help them nail their messaging and help them be telegenic and walk them through how to carry a segment. That's good communicating. And as you send out pitches, you have to stay in contact with editors, journalists, be consistent, following up, adding value, so you build those relationships with media professionals. That's also good communication. So it's really essential as a PR pro, not just, writing or whatever, but being a good communicator so everyone knows what's happening. And on my end, I value being quick to respond. Not at the expense of accuracy, but being on top of it. So if I'm in normal business hours and you email me, I'm going to get back to you as quickly as possible, even to say I'm working on this and you should have an answer by the end of the day. So they know and they've seen you're acknowledging that you sent them something, or that they sent you something. But weekends and nights can wait till the morning. Even if I'm working, I'll boomerang it in Gmail to go out the next morning. But either way, being a responsive and timely communicator all is part of the skills needed as a PR pro to have confidence in the value you're providing. So one is good communication. communication. 2, storytelling. Duh. But brand storytelling is a hallmark of PR, and we still feel that it is extremely important, if not more important than ever, particularly with the events of the last couple years. People want to shop. They want to vote with their dollars. They want to share their money and purchase from brands that matter and that have a real story. There's real founders behind these companies, either on a big picture or a daily level. Brands and PR pros should work to relate to people's emotions, their lives, their struggles, the things that they're dealing with on a daily basis. And the dog's barking and going nuts. That's going to impact the way that you pitch, but also the way that you can vet your prospective clients. If you're vetting a potential client, you want to consider how honed in they are and in tune with their audience. So it's really important to understand what their audience is, their needs, their frustrations, and that this company is positioned in a way to help their target customer and to be appealing to the media. That's positioning and storytelling. It's not, brand storytelling isn't just important for creating compelling pitches, but it affects all of the messaging that consumers interact with, whether it's their branding, social media. There's a lot more to it, and that's why it's such an important and foundational skill for every PR pro to focus on building. You want to make sure that their actions are in alignment with what they're putting out into the world, that they're taking action, that they're actually sharing on social, that they are, if they're out there with social and posting Black Lives Matter, what does their company executive board makeup look like? Is there actual diversity in this company? Is that important to them? Are they taking action to support causes they believe in, or is their social post just performative? When there is not alignment, consumers can feel that it's not genuine and it's not a core value. Consumers are now voting with their dollars to align with companies that have shared values. And if your clients are not walking the talk, you have to help them see that they're missing the mark there, or help them really figure out who's their customer, what are their customers' needs and concerns, how can they fill those needs, and position it all that way. That's valuable expertise in storytelling that's beneficial to the client, and that also will be useful to the media and make that connection with that brand. So that's 2 is storytelling. 3, analyzing data. Jen, you said there'd be no math. Some math, it is numbers, but you need to find a way to report progress or success that isn't some made up fictional metric. So if you're able to understand the metrics behind your content performance, you're able to provide insight into the actions of visitors, get into platforms from your clients like Google Analytics and really dive into the numbers, look for trends, look for baseline, and see where traffic's coming from, where there's been an increase, understand the metrics behind your content so that you're able to know what pages they're visiting, how long are they staying, what headlines are resonating. All of that information can help guide your future efforts. It's informed decision making. Now you have data, but it's only as useful as your understanding of it and your ability to use it to your advantage. So get into Google, ask your clients for access to their Google Analytics, poke around. Another way that we're seeing this is Google's tool for advertising will give you search volume for certain keyword searches. And what we're seeing with the alignment of high search volume terms and products that fill those needs for things people are searching for, but don't necessarily have a high results when you search these terms. So it's like high search volume, 50 to 100,000 searches a month, but a low results. So media can rank in there highly if they write about something because people are looking, but there's not a lot of content coming up in the return on that search. Your client's product solves that need people are searching for, and you offer affiliate commission, mic drop. Share that with your top media outlets, give them that scoop, and now you are giving them access to something people are looking for that they can write about in a genuine way, because it has to be still, it's infotainment, they're calling it data-driven stories. They want to write about things people want to know about that really matter to them, but also it has to convert to sales. And so if there's an affiliate commission opportunity and a high search volume, that's like striking gold. And that data is available in Google's advertising platform, which G Suite has access to that. You can see what the search volume is and use those analytics to help pitch out that gap that you can help fill. And then you also need to be able to confidently educate your clients on PR the way that we see ROI. And again, it's not sales. A lot of people misunderstand PR as a strategy, and it's our job as their service providers, as experts in the space, to really inform them, make sure they understand the benefits of what it is we're doing. So PR is not necessarily like a strategy. It's one approach to a layered communications overall plan. Earned media. There's also, paid media. There is, and we're not talking about the kind Jane and I were talking about at the top of the call, but, branded kind of advertorials with media directly. And we are doing a lot of that now. It's an additional service. We're getting paid to manage budgets. And it's working with them in newsletter insertion, social media placements, having some product reviewers that are paid by the publication test our products and write about it. And it'll say, this is a sponsored post. That is different than what trash Jane is getting pitched day in and day out and her clients are getting pitched. So the other thing here is really understanding the strategy tie-in with affiliate marketing and adding that in your repertoire. Inside the Pitch Lab, we did a whole masterclass on affiliate marketing, and then we brought in Bryce Gruber, who spoke. She's an expert. I keep it separate. She's asking if I do pay for play in the same press book or keep it separate. It's not earned media. Usually our reporting is we will have a spreadsheet and then I include the clips. My clients haven't asked me to clip any of their pay to play stuff, but in the same email where we're summarizing everything, since we are doing paid media as a service, we'll just write a blurb about the status and link out to it. But it's not, when you say press book, like a visual clips, we're not putting that in the same place as earned media. And we might just summarize our efforts and kind of what happened that month on the paid media side in an email, like our monthly recap email. We it's like, hey, lots of great stuff happening, plus we secured and it went live, that sort of thing. So they could see all of our efforts in one place. And we would also include some partnerships in the works with influencers and other things like that. But in terms of our reporting, it's usually separate. So what am I saying? So you want to really understand affiliate marketing so you can build confidence around the idea of results, because affiliate marketing will help generate direct revenue. Not that that's something we're measuring in terms of a KPI, but we have seen media sell through so well with features about our clients that media will keep writing about it, or they'll take that same content and they'll update it and they'll add a new headline that's even more compelling and enticing. And we've had publications rerun it 3 to 4 times because it's driving sales for the publication, and the client is generating a lot of revenue from that as well. But we would track the feature again and again and again as part of our, our metrics. And if we wanted to look at that affiliate sell-through, you can ask your client for access to their dashboard, whether it's impact, share a sale, whichever they're using. Jane says, I do put it in the book in its own section because they're often using the book as sales presenters to potential retailers. Yeah, then if it's all in one place, if the client is going to use those clips or whatever, that makes a lot of sense. So that's actually a good point to have it in one spot, but in the back, because then Jane is typically working with professional hair, makeup, beauty brands. So they're showing probably that they're advertising to the salon professionals somewhere, or creating demand at the point of purchase for these retailers that they're pitching to for sales. So that makes a lot of sense. If you're really only selling direct, which this is not that, then it doesn't, make sense for it to be part of a sales presentation because there's nobody selling it. Hi, Daria. How are you? Nice to see you on here. Anybody else who's here, say hi. Let me know who's here. Because so far only 4 people have said hi, but there's more than that on here. So no professional client. Oh, really? Excuse me. Awesome. Blue Mercury and Sephora. Great. That's great. We have a Blue Mercury here, and I always walk in and I'm like, oh my God, so many beautiful things. And then I'm like, overwhelmed. And then I leave. And my husband knows I love the store. So he'll buy me a gift card. And then I'm like, I don't know. Do I like spread it across, or do I get one like key serum? Like, what's my thing? I have so much stuff. I should do like a tour. Would you guys be interested? There's 2 things I've been thinking of doing. One, kind of like a tour of all my beauty stuff, because there's quite a bit. Yes. Yeah. He's good at the gift giving. He pays attention, which is really cool. And also Elaine, hello. I can't wait to hear what happened with that proposal you have out. Christine, hi. I'm assuming Facebook users. Chrissy, hi. Alicia, hi. Lily, Netherlands. Oh, good. Oh, love it. Welcome. Okay, so Angela, the other thing, guys, and sorry, Nelson, cover your ears, but I've been getting a lot of people in real life asking me about my eyelashes. I don't know, like a couple people are like, how do you, like, what mascara do you use? Do you use extensions? I don't. So I have like a lot of little eyelash tips and tricks. I know this is not like the content you're here for, but I was thinking of like next time I was going to do my makeup, just doing a live, because I have lash strategy, let's say, more than ever. And I will say, my husband loves I have green eyes. Apparently only 2% of the population have green eyes. My grandma had green eyes. My dad has green eyes. My cousin Lisa has green eyes. But I really love my eyes, and they're very small. And they're like going like this the older I get. It's like that. So I work very hard to like open them up. So I have lash strategy, and if you guys were interested, I know this is a total sidebar, but I was gonna like show around like my favorite products. You do, Serena. It's like a little special club to be in, right? Very few people have green eyes. Does your mom have green eyes? And then my son has like hazel eyes. I was hoping he could get green eyes, but yeah. Okay, Christine, I love that. Look at that. That's good communication. That's good positioning, because the topic is about confidence. So she's like, if you feel good about your appearance, it can help your confidence, so lash tips are appropriate. Okay, cool. I'll do like a kind of like get ready with me, but I can show like all the things that I use. It's not a big deal, but there's like little things that make a difference, I think. So I thought that might be fun. So I'll figure out when I am doing it next. And awesome. Awesome. Oh, amazing. Awesome. That's so cool. Tell me who she works with. Does she work with what like clients? Is it celebrities, or is it like, does she work in the fashion industry for shows or print? That's super cool. Okay. So you got to understand data, understanding affiliate. That's 3. So we've got communication. Obviously, we know important skill, storytelling, analyzing that data, and then pitching. Dun, dun, dun. So you want to make sure that you have top-notch fundamental pitching skills. Timing, relevance, all of that, those fundamentals, it still matters. It still matters. You have to connect with the right writers and editors at the right time when they're working on things, managing the lead times. You want to pitch something that's tailored to them, what they cover, their publication, highly relevant to them, newsworthy, interesting. And I will say, like, programming note, side note on lead times, we've always thought in terms of long leads, print, all of those things are like long leads. And the long lead timeline, when I started, it was 3 months. Now it's like 4 to 6. Like, definitely holiday gift guides are 6 months. Most monthlies are about 4 months out. What we have been hearing from our media, digital media friends, the writers on the digital media side, is that what we have typically considered short lead, which are online platforms, like an online version of a print magazine or a blog, a website, and we would say short lead, and we would be like 3 to 6 weeks, sometimes shorter. They said that their deadlines and their content is planned out these days more like long lead. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of what that timing actually looks like, but just know this is a change that is happening. Holy moly. So Daria's sister Joy has done all of it. Celebrities, Target, New York Fashion Week. Hi, it's New York Fashion Week for Vera Wang, Oscar de la Renta, O Magazine, Italian Vogue. What a roster. How awesome. I'm sure she loves it. I'm sure she's amazing at it. That's super cool. I think back in the day, I thought I could do makeup or be a makeup artist or do a makeup line. I veered into like beauty PR, which I still like totally love after all this time. But I think when you are great at something, and you can like find your joy doing it. And I love that her name is Joy too. And find your passion and like get to work at that level. Ugh, that's incredible. That's incredible. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, blah, blah, blah. What am I saying? Highly tailored, relevant, but also keep in mind short lead time seems to be changing, at least from our media partners. Okay, so you also want to be fully bought in to the strategy, the approach, the positioning that you're taking when you're pitching for clients. That confidence, or the lack thereof, if you don't believe it, it comes through with your energy level, with your passion, your commitment to the idea, and that pitch that you're sending out for your clients. You have to believe in what you're saying. And sometimes it's hard when you are maybe just starting out, or you want new clients, you want the work, and someone comes to you. What we're doing pitching wise is sales, really. It's convincing somebody to buy the story, buy the idea of talking about a product in their column. They have to believe it. They have to believe in it. Maybe these days they have to believe that they will get affiliate revenue, and that's fine too. But if you think something isn't great, if you think something isn't cool, if you have concerns, you probably cannot be as effective in your communication, in your pitching. I feel like one of the things that people always say to me on calls when I'm on sales calls is like, wow, you're so passionate. I love your energy, or you're very energetic. I'm a spaz. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I had actually talked to these guys a year or so ago. And I was so excited about the project because I love Judy Garland. I love The Wizard of Oz. I just like watched it probably at least 1,000 times when I was a kid, easily. My VHS, my Betamax, whatever it was. And I was so excited. I was like, this is awesome. Like, what a special honor that the, Garland estate chose you as the perfumier to create a fragrance in honor of their late mother's 100th birthday. Like, I got it. And their budget was, and I was like, well, project sounds awesome. Nice talking to you. And they're like, oh, if we can find a way, we'll come back. So it took them a year to develop it. And they also got funding. So our retainer is 10 times what their budget was when we first talked. And they came back and they signed on with us for 10x what they had available a year ago. So keep that in mind. My confidence, my passion and enthusiasm for the product. Now, I did express some concerns and I said, here's like, I love the project. Blah. Betamax, oh my God, yeah. And we had that long like remote that had like a forward and a backwards, and it was not a remote. It was like a cable connected to the machine, and it was, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm aging myself now, but yes, we had a Betamax. Mom, remember the Betamax? I know my mom watches these. But I expressed my concerns, but I did have passion for the project, and that stayed with them for a year. And even though my rate was 10x what their budget was, they got funding and they came back. So that same level of confidence should be there when you're pitching. Like, you've got to love it. And if you don't, thank you. If you don't, it's transparent. If it's not there, it's lacking that heart and emotion. Oh my God, I have so much for you guys. Okay, wait, let me go fast. So some mindset shifts. Yeah. Oh God. Oh yes. It's Chrissy, right? Because it still says Facebook user. I'm assuming it's you. The lowest paying clients will be the highest factor pain in the ass for you. 100% of the time. Every time you take on a client with a small budget or under what you're asking for, highest pain in the ass factor. Always. Always, 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 always. Never not total pain in the ass. Okay? So you want to always practice your skills. So how are we building confidence? Prepare, plan. Sometimes you feel less confident in new situations if it's like you're not really prepared for it. I remember when I was an attorney, I was very young, and I also looked young. I was 25, 26. And I would go to court. I got a certain kind of case for my firm. I was doing collections, which is for a big prestigious firm that has, Supreme Court cases and all of that, like major high profile litigation. To do collections at that firm is low end work, right? Nobody cares what you're up to. Just get our money. We don't care what goes into it. So I had a lot of like freedom there, and I would go to court often to get judgments. Kelly, I was just thinking about you. And how I haven't seen you in so long. It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing awesome. But I would go to court, and I did so many of these cases. I was so prepared and I was very confident. Always won, just because it's breach of contract. They didn't pay their bills, and half the time the other side didn't show up. But I was so prepared. I had a judge say to me, I've never seen a young attorney stand up before me with so much confidence and be so effective. And I was like, oh my God, like such a big deal. And I came back to the firm and I was like, oh my God, so exciting. Like, a judge complimented me. This is like so cool. There was nobody to share it with. Nobody cared. They're like, we're paying you 6 figures. Like, of course you should be prepared. I did tell my mom, I was like so proud, but that confidence came from doing something multiple times and knowing how it was going to go, being really confident in my case, and it made me very effective. And so the more that you can plan and prioritize learning also, prepare for the unknown, but realize that you can learn what's going on in our industry. PR is always changing. That's why you guys are here watching me every week. That's why I go live every single week. I want to always be able to share with those of you who are willing to learn, willing to adapt, so that you can feel confident in yourself and your skills. I want to continue to provide you with that value. And when we create this content, we're learning it too. We're really listening to what this community wants to know about when we create this content. Running this community and all of our programs has really forced me to stay way on top of it'd be so nice to cruise and just run my agency and just do what we've always done and, take home our retainers. But we have to be current. I can't teach you something that was relevant 5 years ago or even a year ago. So prioritize learning and feel confident in yourself and your skills, because you are continually investing in time-wise or financially, if you join any programs, to be the best at what you do. And knowing that you're on top of it, it helps make you feel more confident in your ability. You can handle sticky situations. You know what role you serve and what you don't. You can push back when you're not in the right role. Tasks that you're responsible for and also that you're not. And knowing what to expect and how and why things are done a certain way will also add to that awareness and confidence in the way you're doing things, and make you feel prepared as you go out and pitch, or as you pitch new clients and say, this is how it's going to go. Like we were working on the thanks, Christine. We appreciate you, all that you do for this community. Well, I appreciate this community so much. And Daria, that's why you guys show up. And most of the people that come every single week and participate in these chats, they're all in our programs. And yet they're still here for the free stuff, because it's always something timely relevant. So it's about saying to yourself, I'm going to be the best comms pro and also the best service provider and agency owner possible, which means I have to be able to provide the most value to our clients and know exactly what the hell's going on in our industry, learn the rules of the game because they change all the time, and help our clients play to win, right? So you want to stay ahead of the trends to provide the best service possible. Find a mentor that can help with these skills, somebody that will motivate you and inspire you to keep working towards your goals. I also always, when I talk about mentors, I say to try to find someone whose values align with your vision, whose lifestyle aligns with your vision. I'm sorry, but if you're out there telling me that I can make millions of dollars and you never see your family, you're never taking a trip with your family, you're never posting pictures with your kids, you're showing your, Ferrari or whatever, like, I don't care about that. I don't care if you have a Ferrari. I don't want a Ferrari. That's never gonna be important to me. That doesn't align with me at all. Like, I want to hear that you are, out in nature, that you value experiences, that you value a deep, meaningful connection with your family. That's when I say find a mentor that their values align with yours and with your vision and your vision for your lifestyle. That mentor can show you, like, this is how I've done it and how you can do it too. If you want your thing, your business, your life, your whatever to look the way that mine does, or to look similar to mine. So that's what I always recommend. Like, I've had to kind of move away from mentors where I'm like, I don't think that our vision and values align anymore, and that's okay. I've learned a lot. Time to move on. That person might be able to support you, give you advice, provide resources to help you build your skills. That's why we have our programs. It's structured in a way where you can absorb it and learn it and implement. Chrissy says, I love that. I always put family and holidays first, sometimes even fun with friends when I really need it, despite working a ton. Also, did I see something about Guinness coming to do something with your daughters? And I was just like looking at the comments to see what that was about, but can you please fill me in on that? That sounded so cool. Tell me more. Chrissy has she has twin daughters, and they're singers, and you live in Nashville, is that right? Tell me more. So the other thing too is practicing your skills. We want to just do our very best at all times. Not at the sake of perfection paralysis that leaves you frozen, but momentum, take action, aim to become as good as you can. The better that you are at something, the more confident that you can become. And building your skills matters. Having a community to support you matters, which is why I'm so grateful that you're all here, because the amount of connections and support that I see every day in our community is so inspiring to me. It's really, really helpful to the members of our community to get so many open and sharing, giving PR professionals with experience, real life experience, weighing in to say, here's what I would recommend, or here's what happened when I did that. That's invaluable. I built a business for, probably 12 or so years before I created this community and programs and started to bring in other PR pros into my atmosphere. And it's lonely. It's really lonely to build a business on your own, and you shouldn't have to. So, having a mentor, please, if you do feel you need a mentor, we have so many ways to work together. Just having that, the wins, taking your goals, break it down into smaller milestones so that you can feel successful completing something, working towards a goal by completing smaller tasks. All of that, honestly, I write stuff down so I could cross it out and it feels great. I'm just floop. I do a little wavy, because it feels really good. And I start to be what else can I do? What else can I cross out? How much more progress can I make today? So you want to aim to be as good as you can in everything you do and create momentum by, working towards a goal where you break it down into smaller tasks. And then there are mindset shifts. The other thing I'll say too is when you're really confident in your skills, and you understand the way that things work, you will also be confident when results are not happening the way you hoped or as fast as you hoped. And I've had most recently 2 clients where when we first started, I was affiliate, and they're we get it. And then they didn't really do much to support us in the way of getting their affiliate programs up and running or having availability on Amazon for us to have that be part of our kind of arsenal when we pitch. And we were working so hard and generating nothing. And rather than say, oh my God, we suck at this, or my team sucks, or I suck, or getting on the phone and being I'm so sorry, I don't know, or feeling oh my God, I let you down. And it sucks. I told both clients, we're happy to end the contract early because I am telling you, we have done everything and we're trying so hard and it's not converting. And here are the reasons why. And none of them had to do with us. None of them had to do with bad pitches that didn't get traction, with no media contacts, or we're placing stuff left and right for other clients. This is the missing factor, and it's on your end. And that confidence, and both clients were you did a really good job. So even though we did not get great results, but I'm telling you, they both left and said, when things change on our end, we will be back, because it's very clear your team knows what they're doing. And also, I'm a partner to them. It wasn't working. I don't need to spend their dollars on spinning our wheels. So I let them out of their contract early. And they appreciated that. One client said, keep going another month. And the other one was thank you. We need to get our shit together. And I'm when you do, you know where to find us. So that's confidence. That's not saying I did something wrong. It's saying all of the factors for success are not here. And until they are, we can't be effective. So some other mindset, do you guys see that piece of where confidence really also has an impact in service even when you're not crushing it results-wise, those clients both left and would say Generation did a great job. We didn't get a lot of results, but we know that they were out there doing everything possible. And also that was good communication of us telling them all of the pivots, all the ways we were trying, any feedback we got, really communicating our efforts. Do you guys see that? Give me a heart. My husband is leaving. Aw, I like when he works from home. Let me just say bye. So a couple other little last minute tips. I know we're going long. Yep. Okay, good, Serena. Thank you. Okay. Wow, we have a lot for you. Okay, mindset shifts. Let's just boom, boom, boom. You have to know this. You are a valuable resource for your media contacts. Subtle mindset shift. You're not annoying them. I mean, we often think that the media has the upper hand in the PR media relationship. You know, after all, they're the gatekeepers. They decide the stories that get shared on their platforms. But we as PR professionals, we have information, experts, resources, solutions, stories, things worth sharing. And if you're doing your homework, then what you're offering, and if you follow the pitch lab approach, there's no spray and pray, it's targeted, tailored content. You're gonna offer something of interest, something relevant to their audience. So you're not a salesperson, you're not an annoying pest, you know, and if you feel like you're annoying, then maybe you are, and try a different approach. But you are coming into this where your mindset is that you're a valuable asset who helps them do their job better. And the PR professional and journalist relationship, when you add value and you're helping them, they'll come back to you. Our media contacts know the kind of clients we work with, and they'll come to us for relevant products for stories they're working on, because they know, like, we represent baby brands and beauty brands. So they'll come to us and say, what do you have? You know, what else do you have? So if you don't really see yourself as an asset, you need to look at your list and make sure that your audiences align, that the products you're pitching them, the services, the experts, the stories you're pitching them align with what they're actually covering. Otherwise, you're a pest. Offer them something that they want. Darius says, Jen, being authentic and real is so important when it comes to our client relations. So important. You know, I don't know any other way of being, to be honest with you. I think being inauthentic is exhausting. Like managing, like, who am I today? I will remind myself every day of how I want to show up in the world. When I come on these lives, I tell myself who I want to be in order to serve this community best. I'm here talking, and I don't really expect anyone to stay, and you guys stay. And so it's like, how can I serve you? How can I bring value to you? I tell myself every day, this is how I'm showing up in this call. Every time I get on the phone with a prospective client, I'm adding value and being of service. And I'm an expert, and I show up as an authority. I tell myself that that's, you know, who I am and how I am presenting into the world. I tell myself that every day. That's not being inauthentic. That's reminding myself of the value, the energy, the purpose that I want to deliver in certain interactions or when I'm doing certain things, okay? There's a difference, but I'm never inauthentic. It's exhausting. Have you ever tried to, like, be someone or something you're not in a friendship or a relationship or on social media? Ugh. It's exhausting, and it's also boring. It's like a snooze fest. Just be yourself, right? So yes, I love that. Okay. If you don't have something that your media contacts want, then figure it out and get something. So it could be mining your organization for stories, figuring out an angle and then talking to the client and seeing what they have that would fit that approach, applying creativity to the stories you're already telling so that they're a better fit for those publications. It's making sure that when you reach out to the media, you're an asset and you're adding value because you know what they write about and you're giving them something that's relevant to them. If you can't give them something relevant, then you are a pest, and just don't pitch them. And so you want to understand that simple truth that you provide value to the media, to your contacts. And when you know that for certain in your mind, it can change the entire tone of your pitches, and that'll lead to more success. That confidence comes through in your writing. You're less, there's less trepidation, there's more authority. Jen, you are so very awesome. You are awesome. After 27 years in PR, branding, and publicity, Jen, you really motivate me and inspire me to keep going. Let's keep going. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. 27 years, you have about 10 years on me. I think this year for me is 17 years of having my business. So, okay, you provide value, know it for sure when you're pitching, and you add value to the world of PR too. So it's still one of the best ways to generate awareness, gain credibility, drive results for your clients. It's getting more and more difficult to find people like us who are skilled at media relations. So you're valuable simply because you do what you do and you do it well. You're here because you're committed to doing it even better at all times. 23 years, awesome. That's Nelson. So, we see the new era of media, hacks are not doing what we do. They're offering cheap, quick wins that are not earned media. They're not impactful or meaningful. We're valuable because we are now a scarce resource. And the more that we invest in what we're doing, the better we become, and we get more experience and get even more valuable to the media and our clients. So think of the value you bring to clients beyond media placements. So there's so much more that we do, and we're also helping to, like with one of our clients, we're helping with key messaging because their messaging was a dud. And we were like, this isn't gonna stand out from the rest of your other products and also your competition. So in coming up with the storytelling and positioning, we're helping their marketing team, really hone in on something that is going to move the needle and resonate with their customers. There are things sometimes that, we're adding to the mix that's not just the results that we're getting. We help write brand positioning copy, about us copy for founders. We're coming up with strategies that they can implement if they have slow movers. We're coming up with angles to help sell through. We're doing all kinds of things, adding value and making their businesses better and their jobs easier. The other thing that I want you to keep in mind, a skill to really keep top of mind, or a reality, a mindset, I should say, is that we know that as PR pros, sometimes things are just out of our control, no matter how good we are. We want to produce, we want outcomes, we want results. I had this conversation with a member of our program who is a baller. She is a baller. Forbes 30 under 30, Des. We were having a conversation about how frustrating it is that as achievers, as people who generate impact and results, it's really hard for us top performers when things are out of our control and out of our hands. That's really hard. There is a piece, no matter how good you are, where it's out of your hands, right? So you can put together a process. We talked about this in the context of a process. Writing a pitch, developing a proposal, creating a plan, you have a process. We share all of this in the Pitch Lab and Agency Accelerator, depending on if it's agency focused or pitch focused, right? Creating a media list, we can create a process around it. do all of the things right and be amazing at what we do. But at the end of it, the missing piece is that the outcome is not in our control. And that's really hard for people like us because it can mess with you mentally. As achievers and doers, it can really mess with you mentally. When it's all working, you feel like you're on top of the world. You feel like you're the best, service provider ever. Like you are like in the zone, right? But when it doesn't, we sometimes think, well, I'm bad, like I suck or I'm garbage, because you're so used to being an achiever that delivers outcomes. So when we talk a lot about having processes in our agency. When you are someone who likes processes, you want to do step A, step B, step C, step D, whatever, in a certain order, a certain way, and then have an outcome. And when you can't guarantee the outcome, you feel like, well, I did this process. What happened? It must be me. So it can interfere with your confidence in your business. So many of us are like, and I know a lot of you on here, we've talked intimately about our businesses, and I know it resonates. You feel like you can't deliver on promises, and that it makes it harder for you to sell the services that you're providing because you can't guarantee outcomes. And I know a lot of people in our industry have a hard time with it. We always say, don't take it personally. But when you feel like you have an edge and you're doing everything right, you're really good at what you're doing, and it's still not working, it's really hard. And we know also the game has changed again. So we know too that our contacts don't have complete and total freedom to pick who they want to feature, what they want to write about, who they want to work with. There are directives. They are now commerce editors, and they have to sell through. So that's why it's hard in our industry right now. And mentally, as an achiever, it might be even harder for you. So if you feel like you're down on yourself, feeling negative about everything, shift your mindset and know that you have valuable expertise. Believe in yourself, the value you bring to the table to your clients and your media contacts, and let go of what's out of your control. You have to let that go and just know you're doing your job, you're doing it well, you're top of the game because you understand the rules. Try to let go of those things you can't control. Because if honestly, I always feel like I don't know what I'm doing, except that I'm fully aware that I know exactly what I'm doing. And yes, Angela, exactly. You're like, I know I'm doing. That's the other thing too is, we have seasoned pros in our programs like Jane, right? Jane shows up to everything. Jane always delivers. Jane always puts in the work. She knows exactly how the game is played. But there is something very confidence building to say, I'm now seeing again by checking into this educational content and this approach and this coaching call that I am doing everything right. That's a confidence booster. Whether you're learning for the very first time or whether you're just gaining certainty that you're doing it right, that has value for your confidence. Christine, it was a pleasure to meet you. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are connecting. That's awesome. Nelson, I never guarantee hits. Instead, I tell the client that I have a goal of reaching X amount of hits per month. If I achieve that, they are happy. If I exceed that, which is my real goal, they are on cloud 9 and loving me to death. Yes, of course. Always, I'm the same way, Nelson. Aim to exceed expectations, never overpromise and underdeliver. Like, why would you ever dig a hole for yourself like that? So Jane, you're saying exactly to me, like you've never told me that, but I feel that that's like, you're not coming to just be like, I want to learn this new thing. You're coming to ensure that you know exactly what you're doing. And even if you learn nothing, you are still gaining that confidence that you're doing it right and you're on top of your game. And, So there's value in that. confidence building, right? And I know it's so hard when that piece is outside of our control and we are like, we want to just get results, and someone else is in the driver's seat there. You have to let go of that because you cannot control it. You just can't. And don't forget what your career value really means to you. You know, we want to help you with career mastery so that you can earn that autonomy. You add lots of new things. Oh, good. And then the affirmations are the icing on the cake. Awesome. Yeah. So there's always something to learn, but I think just knowing you're honing your skills builds your confidence level. Even though I've been there, done that in the industry, I'm so glad you're talking about this. I've been so frustrated with some accounts lately and not getting hits. I know. This is a completely different job from 2 years ago. Yeah, which is why we're here. How hard for us. We're like building these programs and we're like putting a lot into them. And then I'm like, well, got to re-record that. You know, we just want it to be current. I'm not here. That's why I'm still running an agency. Well, also because the revenue is nice. But I want to make sure that I am not some dinosaur pitching you concepts that are out of date. There are people teaching how to run an agency who haven't run an agency in a decade. I don't see the connection. I mean, it's totally different, you guys. So I want you to have this mastery in your career so that you have the autonomy, the flexibility to pursue things you love, you're passionate about, this kind of independence that frees you to deliver that best energy to the things and the people that matter most in your life. You know, like I said, it's about family. What did I just do? Did I just totally? Oh, good. Okay. I thought I pasted some secret link. I also take some class every single day to stay fresh. PR, customer service, awesome. Yeah, I know there was a Ask Me Anything discussion yesterday from a few journalists that have great Substacks centered around affiliate, and a lot of my community sat in on that class and said it was great. We're learning all the time too. I can't even tell you, I have invested well over probably $80,000-$90,000 in my professional, probably more than that at this point, almost six figures in my professional development, not to mention like my legal education was almost $200,000. You know, and I will tell you that I've learned more putting together content for this community and in my hand cherry-picked professional development than I learned in law school. Like, law school's fine. It's not teaching you how to be an attorney and make money. It teaches you how to take the bar. Critical thinking, that will help you pass the bar exam. You learn on the job. So I want to teach you how to make money providing this service and playing the rules of this ever-changing game. Anyway, so I hope that those tips, those mindset redirects really help you at least have a plan for building confidence in the service you're providing, the value you're adding to your clients' businesses, the value you're adding to your media contacts, so that you're confident when you're selling, when you're providing services, when you're pitching stories, when you're building your team, you're building your agency. So that's what I have for you. This was a long one. I'm so sorry. My God. I hope there was a lot here that we probably turn this into 2 podcast episodes. But anybody have any questions for me? Anything? Anyone want to say hi? It's my favorite lippy, since we're talking about makeup. Wish this was my client. It's Charlotte Tilbury. Walk of No Shame. It's so pretty. From the Queen, I know. Is today? No. Okay. Yeah. That was crazy news. I love you. I missed you, Kelly. I was literally like, where's Kelly been? I hope everything's great with you and the kids and everything. Kids, hopefully back in school, all of them. So we are pitching things around the Emmys. Oh, good. Thank you, Daria. This was amazing, Jen. Thank you. I'm going to just put a little star next to that one. I mean, I think it depends. So we're pitching Emmy's stories. I saw that news where they're like, we're very concerned about her health. I'm like, yes, and congratulations, Nelson, Mazel Tov, to your family and your beautiful new daughter-in-law. Her dress was beautiful. The smiles on their faces. Okay, Kelly in FinTech is pausing. So we have Emmy's looks that we're going to be pitching because we're working with artists that are getting people ready. But let's talk about it. I think that's probably a good strategy. Nelson, did they go on their honeymoon and where did they go? I'd love to live vicariously because I have canceled more trips, or I should say my husband's canceled more trips than I care to mention. But tell me where they went on their honeymoon. I hope that was helpful. Jane, I think that was a good point. They haven't gone anywhere yet. We were supposed to go to Spain and Portugal next month, but we canceled it because my husband's deal. I'll pitch my HR client, but not beauty. So because our beauty pitches are tied to the Emmys, then yes, we'll pitch. Otherwise, probably not. The wedding pictures were awesome. Nelson, I love that you shared that intimate day and that really special part of your life with our community. And it's so nice to see your wife and your son, and that was really, really awesome. I'm so happy for you. And also I know because you were really concerned about COVID and having it have an impact on your day, so I'm glad that it didn't. Kids are great and in school, finally quiet. I know, I feel like just as of Tuesday, my kids are back full time. Lots of new clients, making a big niche shift. Yes, please message us about that. I want to know the direction you're going in. Kelly, congratulations. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear more. Well, that's what I have for you guys. Again, grab our PR Insider Secrets PDF download, cheat sheet, blah, 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 blah. I really am grateful you guys stuck around with us the whole time, stuck around with me. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your week. Why would I not? Oh my God, Nelson, you're our people. We're so happy to celebrate with you. Of course. Thank you for sharing that. I thought that was wonderful. What are we, some jerk? No, you're like, we're family here. So thanks for sharing your actual family with us. But take good care, you guys, and decide every day in every interaction how you're going to show up. Who are you going to be? Not a fake version of yourself, the best version of yourself. You know, I decide when I see my children who I'm going to be. What do they need me to be right now? You know, every time they come home from school, I say to myself, okay, this is what they need from me right now. And choose how I'm showing up in that interaction. When I see my husband, the word that comes to mind is partner. How am I the best partner to him right now? With my children, how can I be the best listener, the most interested in their interests, empathetic to a situation at school that made them upset? So decide, you know, the best version of yourself. If you overheard someone talking about you and they said these words about you, it would make you feel incredibly proud and seen as the best version of you. What are those words? Think about that. And then remind yourself every day that that's who you are. Okay? Go out there, tackle that confidence. It's all there. You're adding value. We're awesome. The skills that we have are incredibly valuable. So have a great rest of your week. Thanks for sticking with me for, wow, a long, long time. And I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for this amazing community. Thank you for showing up. Love this, Jen. Love you, Daria. Thanks for being here and your positivity. And I'll see you guys next week. Another awesome topic, always coming from our audience and the stuff that they're asking about and want to know about. So if you have questions, Lily, you are welcome. If you have anything you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll build some content around it. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye.